Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Friday's Rock. I thought I would do something a little different this week. I've been promising for a while now that I would show what I do with all these stones that I save up. Like I said, when I get these little stones that I can't really use at the chalet that well, I just kind of set them into this mason jar and just kind of, well, I guess it's a cur jar. Maybe not mason, but I just kind of set it in there, and I sorted through and picked out a few stones that kind of matched. I got some leopard skins here, some typical Michigan granite, some serape jasper, if you can see it over on the bottom corner. I got some chrysocolla, I believe that is. There's a few pieces of picture jasper. Yeah, so all kinds of fun stuff in here. Yeah, so just thought I'd show you what I do. It's nothing fancy, nothing special, not just like anything I do. It's not crazy neat or life-changing, but it's kind of neat to see what you can do with this with your leftover rocks. I got that new classifier pan now that I use to sort all my rocks in, and anything that really falls through I have a 1/4 inch pan, and everything that falls through the 1/4 inch pan becomes media filler for the tumbler. But anything that doesn't, but is too small to sell in my chalet, well, I just set aside in that mason jar and just kind of go from there. And then set it aside. Eventually I'll turn some of these into rings. I'm not a huge fan of making rings, especially for my chalet. Just because, ladies see a ring they love and they try it on. If it doesn't fit, then they walk away. Whereas if I make a pendant, it doesn't, I don't have to worry about it fitting or not. It's automatically going to work. So I tend to make pendants and that sort of thing. I tend to stick to pendants, not rings. Earrings are good too. Once again, one size fits all. So let's kind of go from there. I'm just making a little swirl on here for the moment. Nothing fancy. It's just I'm gonna glue these on. But so I'm looking for something that will stick to the glue or hold glue. Oh, I made it too big. Too many coils. And that's why you use scrap wire. Oh, here's a former project that didn't survive. Yeah. That clearly was not going to work for what I was doing. Some of this wire is back from when I first started making jewelry, so yeah. Not everything I've ever done has worked out to the best. Alright, just make a simple little loop. Come down a little bit. Start another loop. Oop, going the wrong way. Oops, sorry if I was off frame. Keeping it nice and tight this time. And this is why I don't like doing jewelry videos. I keep wandering off frame as I work with a wire and want to put it where I can see it. Alright, not to repeat last time's mistake. Yep, that's the right size. Okay, now to figure out which direction I want up. Probably that. Then I pinch super tight and bend the wire up a little bit to get an idea of where it's going to rest. There we are. And then you can either make a loop there and cut it off, or you can just, if you're, have a better judge of the length of the jewelry, you can bend it as is, but yep, nope. And that's how you end up with tool marks. All right, let's open this back up. Give me something to grab onto. There we are. Now I can grab it. Okay, I can make the other earring out of that scrap left over. And give it a little bend to give it a little bit of interest. Straighten it out for the piece. And tighten the loop up. I am by no means an expert. I've been selling all summer, and I still, I've been making, I've made more jewelry in the last few months than I have in my entire career, and I still am not an expert by any means. My loops still come out kind of random. Sometimes, way more random than I would like. But so far, my customers don't seem to care. And neither do I really, because it adds for a unique look to every piece that I make. Okay. And that's how many times I went around last time, so let's grab the other stone without dropping it. And let's straighten this out so I get a good idea of what's going on here. Alright. Okay. This is going to have to come down a little more like so. I'm going to curl it up again, pressing real hard so it doesn't move. And it moved a little bit, so I'll open it back up a pinch. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. And then I'm going to grab this right about here. Yeah, right about wherever I dropped it. I am not used to doing this on camera. So when I first started the channel, I thought I would show me making jewelry because, you know, that's what I had seen other people doing. And I thought, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's easy. It's simple. That's something I might enjoy. But I quickly found I don't enjoy doing this type of video. I just, the jewelry tutorials and all that stuff, they're neat. I appreciate other people doing them because if they hadn't, I definitely wouldn't be able to craft my own jewelry. Because, you know, I learned everything I know off of YouTube about making jewelry. And that is going to be final scrap. And, you know, like, when I first started learning, I'd watch the big names, the ones that really knew what they were doing, like Oksana. There was another Luan Handmade, I think I was watching, or Leon, or whatever her name is. Something AHN, Handmade. And they were fantastic. They got great stuff. And, you know, as a beginner, I thought I would just be able to just duplicate everything they do. And after a couple of times of it turning out like garbage, I watched this Matt's Crazy Art guy, and he really transformed on the way I do things. He does like more of a free-form wire wrapping instead of a controlled wire wrapping. And it's something I really appreciate and something I can really get into and I enjoy a little more. It's not as time consuming. It doesn't have to be as perfect, you know. If it comes out looking a little wonky, well, then that's just part of the art. So I really appreciated that, and yeah, that's whose art style I really duplicated, and I just kind of run with it now, and yeah. All right. Now for the real trick, just gluing it in place. I'm using E6000 glue. I love this stuff. It only takes a couple seconds to set, at least to the point where you can let go. And if you get it on your fingers, it just rubs off like putty. You know, like the old school glue. So just leave it sit there for a second. Yep, there it is. Got it on my fingers and it just rubs right off. I'll set that aside for a half sec. Now I'll grab the next one. Yep. At first I didn't know if this glue would hold well enough, you know, being on a customer's ears and all that stuff, but after I've made a few of these, they hold just fine. The glue is great, holds well. Couldn't be happier with it. Oh, oops. Come on. There we go. And got some on my finger again, but there you go. 2 pairs of earrings. Or, excuse me, 1 pair of earrings. Out of some Dalmatian Jaspers, there's some little chips I had laying around, so there you go. That's what I do with my old little chips and turn them into earrings, and that's what I do with my old little stones. So hopefully that if it gives you a little idea of what you can do. It's not complicated. It's not like a mega science project. It's not anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But before I let you go for this episode, I thought I'd just show you one more thing I'd done this week, and that was make sea glass, but I took it back to smooth again. So here's that. Here's some glass I tumbled up. I'd watched a video with a feller, and he'd walked it through the stages like rocks, but in a rotary tumbler, and he'd taken 4 days to tumble it up, and he got it right to just plain shiny again. I still got that little bit of a frosted look on this stuff, and yeah, I'm not super happy about that. But I don't think it's a limitation of my equipment, because I did 1 day each in each stage of my vibratory tumbler. And I don't think it was because I put it in there for too short a time or anything. I think it was just because my finish polish isn't a finish polish. I'm just starting to realize that, you know, all my rocks coming out are a little dull, and now this glass isn't as, you know, it isn't as shiny as it should be. This should be perfectly clear again. So I just need to get my hand on some tin oxide, I think, is what needs to happen. And then I can actually finish tumbling this to a decent shine. But yeah, for a first attempt at trying to take the glass back to shiny, I don't think it's too bad. Definitely not the frosted that my other glass has. So, uh-oh. Yeah, need to find the other chunk of that. Well, yeah, I just thought it was kind of neat. A little experiment and try to make something a little different for my customers and me. So, yeah, if you've tumbled glass back to clear, let me know. Yeah, this was definitely an experiment, and it took 3 days of my tumbler, so I missed some opportunities with rocks to tumble up some glass, and it's been neat, but yeah, I'll have to try it again. To round out this week's video, I thought I would just highlight some stones that came out of my tumbler again. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm pretty much down to Michigan stones that are coming out. So it's kind of neat. I'm not 100% sure what that guy is, but I really like it. That's kind of a neat stone. Oh, I wonder if it's magnetic. Nope. Magnet don't stick. Alright. Sometimes you get a gray stone, I get a Gary stone like that, and it's, you know, it's hematite or something. But pudding stone, I don't think that came from Lake Huron, judging by the yellow color. Came from somewhere else. The pudding stones I pick up in Huron tend to be more white. That was a big chunk from the poorly tumbled stone mix, and it was pretty much all polished when I got it, and it was too big. I didn't like the size of it, so I sliced it down into smaller stones, and yeah, I think that was the last of it. And then Yeah, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. This video has been running long enough. I think there's a couple of stones that came out of Marquette, Michigan in here. Let's see here. Yep, those are all Marquette stones. Um, some of them have agate lines when they come through. There are seam agates, but yeah. And then there's some amygdaloidal basalt that came through. And it's easy to see why they're affectionately called galaxy stones. I mean, wow. I'm really glad I turned that one into a cabochon. That one is going to be so cool. And then I got a few cabs too that I made up. I think out of this guy actually. I cut these cabs out of him. You know, before I just gave up and set it aside. And then I got some other quartz that I thought was pretty cool. I just sliced it into one big, I mean, you can see it in the palm of my hand, how big it is. This chunky guy. You know, most of my cabs, if they're on the bigger side, they want to have it like that. So this guy is definitely a little thicker, but thin enough that I could still use it as a pendant. Or, let me see here. Let me try to get it. I think I can, yeah, it'd make a good sun catcher too. So, a couple of different good ideas with that. And then, just highlight a couple other little cabs. Ooh, got a nice piece of unakite here. That's out of the Arkansas stones that my mom gave me. And, ooh, I have no idea what that stone is. But I really like it. It's got that... Oop, and I'm interrupted by parents. And, yeah, really cool. So, anyway, in a couple of weeks I'll be doing a video with... showing my display. Somebody asked me to show my display because I got a craft show coming up, so I'll be doing that, and you guys get to look forward to seeing more of these. I sent a similar stone to my friend Kelly at Alamosa Rock City. You've seen me open a few of his packages, so I sent that back to him, a little piece of banded shirt out of Lake Huron. And, oh, here's something out of Pages, and Montague, a little chrysocolla, or I think that's chrysocolla. And I just wrapped up for a customer. They wanted me to put a different chain on it for them, so... Yeah, so in a couple weeks, expect to see my displays, and till then, take care, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.